Good afternoon, evening, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Papa Pike, joined with you on the Two Summoners podcast. I'm joined with my beautiful, beautiful friend who we're going to bully a little bit later on, Corvy. How you doing tonight, man?
You better not. I'm going good. Come on, man.
As we're going to start doing at the start of every podcast, look out, bad guys, it's Corvy and Jams. I said the wrong one.
Oh, no, wait.
Damn it.
That means
it away.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have got it. Is that from Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Hey.
It's going to say
There you go.
Good.
There you go. I was still sitting on it. I put it in the notes for you to like. I knew you were gonna sing it again, so I put it in the notes like, has Corvy feed it out? Spoilers, I didn't.
He didn't.
Way to ruin it, idiot.
Wow,
Lamau.
An idiot. Well, look out, bad guys. It's Corvy and Pike. Corvy and Pike are on the case. We got a good night ahead, don't we, Corvy?
Yeah, we sure do, man. Have you been watching the PCS?
Dude, I have been, and although I'm disappointed, I think there's a lot to it that we can break down a little bit more. I think we'll get our guest to help break it down with us a little bit too, seeing as it is an expert.
Sure, man.
Mate, I think, and for those of you who are watching, especially you audio listeners, we love you to death. We have Coach Aarsh on tonight. Yeah, tell us a little bit about him before he introduces himself, Corvy.
All right, well, I'll give you the scoop. He was working with me a lot in Weekend Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
He's a coach for them for a while. Basically ran his own team as a manager for a while. Helped me animate like admin for a while, and got on to LCO as Mammoth coach. Now coaches for new team GZ.
That's huge.
So he's been around, man.
They were doing such a good job too, GZ, back in the split. So I'm really keen to see them next split and see how they sort of go forth and prosper, because they're a team to watch.
Yeah, so it's going to be good to having a chat with him. He's been through amateur. He's been through watching the teams to making it to LCO as a coach. So if people are looking to get that kind of, I want to be a coach that somehow makes it to LCO one day, I think it's a pretty good spot to listen to. One, how he got on, how he finds the difference between LCO, amateur, and stuff like that. Should be a pretty good one.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but before we get into that, Corvy, how are you? How's your week been? You been all right?
Yeah, man, always. I'm going great, dude. Just crunching uni. I'm back to streaming. I did a small stream yesterday for about like 15 hours.
Ooh.
Just a small one. And I missed out on heaps of streams last week because I was too busy. So I thought I would just do a big one. And yeah, man, I'm pretty good, as always, dude. How about you? What's up? What's new?
Oh man, I'm doing okay. Just okay. It's been a bit of a rough week. I've did my visual overhaul on stream, and that was really good. I'm just more so like, I'm planning out the rest of it. I think for me, stream is at the point now where I'm like, okay, let's finish planning, get some cool things to post out socially, try and focus on the social aspect of it all. Probably have some like goals and guides of what I want to do for stream as well. So I'm in a big planning phase right now, just trying to plan shit out. But work's been okay. Just trying to find some more shifts as they've started cutting my shifts, which sucks. But that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm hopefully finding a new job soon. But so anyone out there, podcast listeners, if you're hiring, just hit me up. Send me a message on Twitter. I'll be around. But yeah, besides that, shameless plug, trying to find a job. I've been okay, man.
That's good, dude. I'm glad to see. Well, I mean, okay is not great, but I mean, a passing grade's still a passing grade, dude.
Oh, look, I'd honestly say
These get degrees.
It's a solid like D+, so it's not really a pass. D+ is, yeah, I'm like borderline. My teacher's having a good conversation, being like, look, next time just don't be a shithead. I'm like, all right, my bad.
Classic Pike needs to, what is it? Apply himself better and not be such a distraction to those around him.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen, sadly. That's the Papa Pike way. I'm here to distract everyone.
Teachers. Very good.
But okay, guys, we're going to jump in. We'll get Coach Aarsh here. We'll be 2 seconds. In fact, we'll be 1, because we're going to pause and be right back. And we're back after that short 1 second pause. Guys, we have Coach Aarsh with us. Coach, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. Happy to be here. How you guys doing?
Mate,
It's good, dude. How crazy is Papa Pike's energy when he like pauses and stuff? It always catches me off guard. He's just so energetic. The energy, dude, it radiates from you.
I'm still a D+, and I've still got energy enough that could probably outshine the sun. If that doesn't tell you that I've had either a serious cocaine problem or I've got ADHD, I don't know which one it is.
Could be both, dude. For all we know, like.
Imagine if he just drops the secret.
You got stuff going on, man.
I'm a recovering cocaine addict.
Still going strong.
Holy shit.
Vex aren't wear enough. I'm getting concerned.
Well, welcome, Ash. For those who don't know who you are, a brief introduction on who you are, what's your name, what you do.
Yeah, sweet. So I'm Aarsh. Some people might know me as Coach Aarsh, at Coach Aarsh on Twitter. I'm the head coach for Ground Zero in the LCO this year. That's me.
Sweet. Fantastic, dude.
What's your favorite
Yeah.
animal?
You're gonna throw a question like that at me, dude?
100%.
Just like that.
Yep. Because I can.
Favorite animal. Oh, let's say. Dude, there's so many. I'm just gonna say cat. And then
I knew it. I was
that's
gonna
so
say
good.
this motherfucker.
encapsulate a bunch, you know?
I like it. I can respect that. I have 2 cats. That's why
Oh,
we
yeah.
were delayed in recording, because I had a cat
Wait,
walking
all
away.
you
I have
guys,
such a
wait,
keyword.
do you both have cats?
Yeah.
I don't have cats.
You just like cats.
I wish I had cats. I fucking love cats.
Dude, just get a
I
cat.
don't know if I can swear. My bad.
Dude, they
Yeah, I
put
swear all you want,
eggs
man.
in your brain. You know that, right?
I love
They
cats.
lay eggs in your brain.
Cats.
Okay, good.
They do. Parasites. They make you. Apparently, they make you like them, and that's the whole thing. They're meant
Dude.
to make you docile.
No,
aren't they?
no,
Worth
no.
Yes, yes,
That's
yes.
the wrong kind of parasite, dog.
That's it.
No, there's a specific type of parasite that cats can like pick up off mice.
Yeah.
No,
That,
no,
like,
it's in the
that
cat
lies
shit.
dormant in cats.
I have heard of
Mm.
this.
But cats can pass it on to people, and it makes like people's adrenaline receptors go crazy or something, and so they'll always seek like the next thrill, and they'll be like, yeah, I
Dude,
mean,
this
yeah,
is where
like,
the problems come
it's
from
actually
for
crazy.
me. This is it.
You're
figured
just
it
seeking
out.
the next hit,
Yeah,
the
dude.
next hit of cocaine.
I need to go skydiving or something.
So rats give it to cats.
Yeah, and cats aren't affected by it, as
And-
far as I'm aware, but
And
rats
get
are.
it from Corvy.
Corvy is.
It's already
Corvy might
started.
be one of them.
Dude, I'm king
All
rat.
right.
Okay.
So, as my little derailed question is sort of taken off, Ash, tell us about your coaching. Like, how long have you been coaching for? Let's break down your coaching career, I guess.
Yeah, sure. I've been coaching since I would say August, September 2020. That was the first year I was coaching at Weekend Warriors. Actually, it kind of just happened. Corvy knows because he was part of that org with me. Yeah, like I had a couple mates that played amateur at the time, and they joined Weekend Warriors to like merge 2 teams together, basically. And I was just like friends with them, but at the time I was like, yeah, I feel like I know enough about the game. Might join as like an analyst sort of thing, right? See how it goes. They ended up needing a coach. And I was like, yeah, screw it, dude. I'll try.
And how
figure
did
it
that
out.
experience curve go from like going from someone who has like never coached before to starting to slip into an analyst coaching role?
It wasn't as bad as I thought because I already had a lot of ideas about the game, and I'd watched these like at least half of this team play a lot already, so I knew kind of where a lot of their problems lay. I think the bigger thing was kind of figuring out how to fix those problems, because in terms of communication, I feel like I'm pretty good. Like I've been I've been tutoring for 6 years, 7 years now. Like I get how to teach people.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, so it's good that you've had like experience outside of coaching to help you with coaching. Do you think that's like a big like thing that other people should look into doing? Whether it be like private coaching or people that do like stuff on the side, maybe reaching outside of League of Legends makes you a better coach?
I think it definitely makes you better at the communication aspect of it. Like if you want to, yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want to be a better communicator, I think it's so great to do, especially private coaching if you aren't confident in like tutoring a subject.
Have you done private coaching?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't do it a lot, but I have.
I was
some,
thinking
like...
about getting a private coaching session from someone, but I'm
Yeah,
always
yeah,
so
right.
worried it'll be the most awkward experience ever.
I've had
Nah,
coaching
it's
from
pretty
so
chill.
many people, like a lot of people, and I've actually got a session on Thursday with someone who literally was like, "Oh, I'll just coach you for free." I was like, "Fuck, all right, thank you."
Pretty good.
He's an
Wait,
LCO
who?
coach too, actually.
By
Oh,
who?
real?
So it's Eags.
Oh yeah, nice.
So who does?
Wait, who does
he's-
Eags coach
He's
for?
Mammoth, I'm pretty sure.
Iggs? No, he's Kanga.
Oh, is he Kanga?
Yeah,
I feel a little
he's
bit
done a
better
lot
then.
of private coaching.
Yeah.
Like apparently his private coaching is like quite successful. Like he has his own website and everything.
His website.
Mhm.
Oh, I literally rated him the other day. He's just like, "Mate, do you want some coaching?" And I was just like, "Mate, I'm not gonna not get coaching because I literally lost my gold promos again. So I'm like, all right, anything to
You're a
help.
genius.
Yeah.
Raid people with Twitch clout. Get free coaching.
Big.
That's genius.
We have a nice little agreement that we'll both stream at the same time. So I was like, you know what? I'm cool with that. Like, that's sweet. So yeah, no, I like that. So how do you find coaching a team versus maybe coaching solo? I'm actually quite curious to see how you do they approach differently?
Yeah, it's a very different approach. Because with private coaching, you normally get to actually completely tailor the experience to one person. You get to watch them play pretty much the whole game. Like the way I liked it is kind of like Vega V2. I don't know if you've watched any of his private
Yeah.
coaching
Yeah, I
before,
have.
but he'll get like a VOD from that person recording from their point of view. And that's what I like to do as well, because then I actually fully get to see their thought process, what they're looking at every moment in the game. But yeah, I think it's a very different skill set to actual like team coaching. Because in team coaching you have to be a lot more worried about the bigger picture rather than
true.
just all the little things each person's doing, especially if you are one coach for the whole team, right? Like the head coach, dude, I can't focus on what every single person is doing at the same time, you know? I have to be focusing on the bigger picture. I have to be focusing on like our objective setup, vision setup, reset timers, like why is my jungler pathing like this? Can we invade at this time? All that sort of thing.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so it's like making the team fix their team mistakes instead of their individual mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bigger team cohesion sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
cool.
that's cool.
I like
So how was coaching amateur? I'll ask you how's coaching LCO in a bit so we can compare. But how was coaching amateur? How'd you like it?
Great experience, to be honest. Really,
Mhm.
really fun. Yeah, I mean, I think it's really fun, and it definitely gets your head in the space of like, damn, I'm looking after five people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
But
cool.
from knowing the boys in Weekend Warrior as a manager, that shit sucks because they're a bunch of degenerates. So how did it go? Like knocking him down and getting him to actually listen to you about what you were saying.
Look, there was one notorious mid laner who I will not name who was very, very tough to do that with. And in fact, it barely worked.
Are we talking about Arcadian or Rue?
Well, nah. Both of them to a degree, actually. Anyway, I would say overall, like it was fine. Like when it came down to knuckling down and just getting everyone to actually work on a specific goal or a set of goals in a set, like it was fine for the most part.
Alright.
Obviously, it wasn't as good as like it would be, like skill wise, like coaching an LCO team, but
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah,
So, had the environment from amateur being more like relaxed, you said friends as well were a part of it. How did it go going into your first stint with Mammoth, swapping into LCO? Was it a bit weird?
It was massive shock, honestly. I thought it'd be like quite similar to coaching amateur, right? Like when you think about even just in draft in amateur, right? Like a lot of your first rotation of bans is just target bans, right? Like
Yeah.
you'll see enemy team has 3-1 tricks. You're like, all right, banning Kayle, banning Fizz, banning Rengar, and then that team just can't play. You know, they just all suck.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in LCO you can't have that because you're against, for the most part, like much more well-rounded people, right?
Yeah.
Well-rounded opponents, who are good at a multitude of things and different playstyles as well, especially the top teams.
Yeah, so I
Um,
guess that comes down to your knowledge of the game too, and how you sort of have to react in regards to like the meta and stuff. Because I think
yeah,
that is the big thing moving from amateur that I've seen is like a big casting a lot more. Is it is a lot of target bans, and it's quite interesting to see that they have to try and pull something out of their hat, and then when you go to the LCO, it's always the same bans. It's always basically the
yeah,
same
it is.
It's
team
meta
comps.
bands, yeah.
So it's just
Yeah,
like you
it's
sort of
always
just
meta
need to know
bans.
what's going on. So it's such an interesting dynamic you get to see some from both. How do you think you found the learning curve from that? Like, did you find it a good challenge? Anything in particular for that you found interesting?
I think it was, yeah, like looking back at it, it was definitely a good challenge. 100% changed the way I kind of approach not just draft, but like a lot of different things, right? The improvement of my team,
Mm.
getting the team to work together because it's not just friends coming together this time.
Yeah.
Working with another coach at the time, like I was working with Ro, love that guy.
Mm.
Yeah, like it, yeah.
Whole nother
Is
thing.
having an assistant coach that big of a deal? And well, I mean, it would have been as like a support for a new coach, I would imagine. But like, say if you have more years of experience, say like now, maybe in like 2 years in the future, do you think assistant coaches in LCO, because it's not really that bustling of a region,
Hmm.
do you think it's necessary?
I think just having someone like a second person in your coaching staff is really helpful.
Mm.
Hmm.
Like at the moment, I feel quite overloaded when I'm working with the team, like when I'm working with GZ.
Yeah.
Like there's so much I need to do, and at the same time, you know, like I have uni. Obviously, my players have uni too, but I have uni. I have work. Like there's a lot going on, and it'd be
Yeah.
nice at times where when I don't have a scrim set. Oh, sorry, where when I can't be there at a scrim set, that there was someone else to kind of cover for me and be like, hey
Mm.
guys, you know, we are working on these things today, and they still know much about the game. You know,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
still quite smart about the game. Can get the players to work.
Not
Yeah, that's
in.
fair.
Yeah.
And they
They're
would
not
also
in.
leave like good
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're not in Corvy's words. They're not degenerates.
real, real.
So
Well,
yeah, no, I like it. So I guess the next sort of the follow on from that is like, so how did you get into coaching in the LC? Like, I guess it started off with the amateur. Like, did you see this as a potential career path when you started doing Weekend Warriors, or how did you get there?
Yeah. When I started at Weekend Warriors, it was just kind of as like a chill thing. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm playing this game for way too long at this point.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like I'm 23 now. I've been playing since I was 12.
hmm.
Anyway,
Man, come
yeah, I've been
on.
playing this game for so long. Like, let's see if I can get anything out of it. And at the start, yeah, I definitely didn't think that I'd take it anywhere, but as I did it more and more, I was like, you know what, this is kind of nice. I feel like I'm getting pretty good at this.
Hmm.
I've seen some coaching content from the LCO, and it's like they're alright, you know, they're alright. I feel like I could do a better job. And that's when I tried to get on an LCO team at the end of that year, actually, to go into 2021. And I tried to get onto Gravitas.
Yeah.
Corvy, it's your favorite
Yeah,
team.
yeah,
Well, I mean,
with
Weekend
Corey.
Warriors had like the grassroots thing, so we coupled up for
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah, exactly. Like that was a big reason why I actually got onto Gravitas. Because I was coaching the grassroots roster.
Hmm.
And literally I had a roster of 5 players from like D2 to Grandmaster.
Mm.
Um, I think we started actually scrimming and stuff in March of 2021, and by June, like we were consistently beating the actual LCO roster in their scrims,
yeah,
which was pretty funny. Um, but yeah, at that point I was like, yeah, I feel like I could definitely make this a proper thing that I get paid for. And so end of 2021, trialed for Mammoth, got into Mammoth after some struggles with the whole trial thingy.
it was a
Um,
trial phase
for
for
Mammoth
coaching stuff.
2022. It was like yeah. We were definitely also on trial. Because there were like a few other people that wanted to coach
Yeah,
at
I'd
the time.
imagine.
Yeah.
Like someone that comes to mind was Cadence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like eventually got onto Mammoth. That's how the LCO career began.
Mm,
Sweet as.
that's sick.
God, so was it like a tweet that you saw? They're like looking for coaching stuff. Woohoo!
Kind of. I think there was definitely a tweet, but I mainly got into it, I think, just by talking to pros at the time, or people
Yeah.
that were trying to get into pro at the time.
Okay, did you join Mammoth like with any people that you were talking to? Because like Mammoth started like some new people on their roster and
Mm.
like new management and everything. Bring some people on with you.
Um, well, Ro joined with me.
Mm.
We didn't like join together, as in like we didn't sign up together, but we both signed up obviously at the same time and went through the trials together.
Yeah.
Um, Same with Rue, of course, Mr. Rue Fury.
Ruben Hood, love him.
Ruben Hood, that's him, the king.
Isn't
Oh,
he just
Jungle
he's
Man.
an
Did Jungle Man
echo one
start?
trick now, isn't he?
George was 2021.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Who else? I
So
mean, yeah, like Boosted Animal came on in the second half of the year, and then I made friends with like Voice and all that.
Yeah,
Going forward.
sweet as, dude.
it's a kind of tight knit crew. We keep running into this same sort of thing. The LCO and I guess the pro scene is just so everyone knows each other so well. Like everyone's
Yeah.
buds. It's part of the funny reasons that we've said this before and how it's so hard to almost break your way in without having
It
10
is.
friends in there already that are like, oh yeah, like he's a cool guy, bring him in, let's see how it goes. So
Yeah.
it's funny how you can actually do it. Like this is a nice success story that I'm hearing. Like it feels like there is a glimmer of hope for Corvy.
It
So-
helps that Aarsh is so fucking charismatic, though. Look at his smile.
Okay. Okay, buddy.
He comes in, the Rizzle is just like, give me a job. And they're like, all right, bud.
yeah, I guess. I'm
Oh,
guessing
you
better.
cutie.
Fine.
Yeah, okay. So, how much of a say, I guess, as a coach, do you get in your roster? Like, I guess through the like let's say the grassroots, for instance, when they were picking the team, you obviously coming as the coach, they'd want the coach beforehand. How much influence do you get for your team? Is a big question. I think we want to know.
Yeah, sure. For grassroots, it was definitely like I pretty much had full reign over who I chose based on the candidates that applied, which is great.
Awesome.
For Mammoth, the players were chosen by the owner, which was a bit silly, but it happened.
Mhm.
It was obviously through like a big trial process, which was it had good points, but it also had a lot of bad points that I'm not going to labor anymore. That was a year and a half ago.
It's the past.
Exactly, that's the past. And then for Ground Zero, it was kind of strange because I definitely wasn't on the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When the players were picked, but also I knew a player who was 100% going to be on this team. And he kept coming to me with like, hey, these are the players that we'd want. Like, who would you want out of these for top lane? Who would you want out of these for jungle, mid, and AD?
So even though you weren't on the team, you kind of were having your say by saying, well, I think this guy's good.
Yeah, pretty much.
Unknowingly built the team.
I mean, no, like I knew it was 4 Ground Zero.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, look, like if you're getting this bot lane, then you should grab this top jungle and this mid laner, right?
Is it like we were talking to the owner of Mammoth before, and he was saying that he was building the roster, so it was pretty much like the same thing that you would have experienced. He built it again for 2020, well, this year. He said that it came down to a lot of like predetermined chemistry, and that's why that like buddy and like comments keep going around, and how everything is just, oh, you have to know someone to get into LCO, like the Ivory Tower meme.
Yeah.
Do you build teams mainly around chemistry? Because we all know that they're pretty decent players, or do you just like pick this guy is a tank island top lane, he fits well with this risky bot? Like, what's it like?
I think there's a good middle ground to be struck. Like, chemistry is nice, but you can always build chemistry as long as the players don't just hate each other.
Yeah.
And unironically, I think that's a big reason of why like PGG this year, right? Like they started off looking really strong because they brought in Schönfire, really skilled player. But they just have a lot of chemistry because Dong is still playing with like Appy Violet, like that sort of idea, right?
Yeah.
But the problem then comes into like Appy. This man has not played support in his life, and it shows as you get later into the split. Like I love him, but come on. And like like you could just see their relative skill level to the other teams kind of slowing down, right?
Which we thought was weird, honestly, because they were put on such a high level. Like, I thought they were like very, very close to Chiefs at the end of last split.
True, actually, yeah, at the end of last split, agreed. But I also think like at the start of this split, right? Like for the first 2 weeks, I thought they were the best team in the like LCO easily. I look at them now, I'm like, top 4 is whoever feels like it on the week, dude. Honest to God.
Honestly, I agree. But still, them beating Bliss, even like them losing to Bliss, rather, even now is still feeling weird just to say out loud.
Yeah, it does feel strange to say, but I think Bliss are quite strong, and they're a good example of like 5 players who had decent chemistry, but also were good. And it was a mix of the two things.
think
It also
it's-
helps.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you go, Poke.
Nah, Corvy, no. I hated on you so
Okay.
much. I gotta give it to you.
Oh, thanks, man. This
Yeah.
is the nicest thing you've ever done to me. Oh my god.
Shut up.
Last is giving Dobby
Say
a
your
sock.
question, damn it, so I can say
Holy
mine.
shit. Well, I think in Bliss's like case, it helps that they have such like high energy people that are like really
Yeah.
outspoken, and it helps being like build that like the best thing that I could have equated it to was like TSM Bay Life level like memes and just like yelling at each other. So like, why not being like a big push of that? I think it's just talking mad shit to everyone, and the team can like kind of get behind that banter, and it really like puts yourself to get like you make common enemies of everyone around you if you're just like talking shit together.
Yeah, that's true.
So I feel like
Makes
it builds
fun.
chemistry so quick. I like
Yeah.
why not? He's like love him or hate him. He definitely has a lot of those people who don't like him, but he's very good at stirring some drama up and making himself the center of attention. I think that's so good for team cohesion.
Yeah, it is 100%. 100% it is.
That's sort of where my question was going to go. Is I think when you sort of back sort of on the rosters as well, you sort of mentioned that it's like, oh, it's about finding players that fit, but it's sort of they hit that middle ground. I was going to say, like, how do you guys as like a team approach that as well, where you need not only, I guess, for the future of LCO as well, and you probably know your thoughts on how that's going to look, but you need not only really skilled players, but people who can make the game entertaining. And I think that's why when you brought up Why Not, I was just like, this is why I think they were so successful, is they had so much charisma behind them that it was kind of hard not to go for them too, because you sort of like, I just want to see Why Not dance again. Like, that's just become the biggest meme. So it's like, it's hard to sort of not get behind that when he is a big entertainment factor. Do you think that's sort of where the LCO needs to start heading? Because another example I can give is Caps in G2. How over in EU, he's just so entertaining to watch because he makes the game not only entertaining, but him as a character, him as a player is such a interesting thing to spectate. Do you think this is something that LCO could potentially start trying to incorporate a little bit more?
Yeah, I actually saw some discourse on Twitter about this like the other day. I think Path, actually, TSM Path, he tweeted this, or he like replied to a tweet. Anyway, I think something that is missing a lot at the moment is stuff like what Why Not does, right? Where it's actual personal player branding. Like I look at the LCO, half of these people have no personality on Twitter, like online, anything, right?
True.
Right? Like we are looking at probably out of each team 4 pieces of cardboard.
Yeah.
You know, it's just cardboard everywhere you look. And like cool, like you're one of the best players in the region. Why should someone like why should North America pick you up if you're like pretty good but you have no brand? Like,
Yeah.
what are you actually bringing to a team in NA? And I don't think it's entirely on the players either. Obviously, it helps for the players to do it.
Yeah.
But I think orgs themselves should be hyping up their players and stuff, and
I
like
agree.
making them do content in that way, that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, 100%. I think the best example I can give of that is if you go onto the Chiefs Twitter page, and I love the Chiefs too, don't get me wrong, they're like one of my favorite teams. When they were over in Taiwan, there is a photo of them all out to dinner. The only person smiling is Biopanther. Everyone else is just literally this.
Yeah.
Like, they are not excited to be there. I'm just like, dude, Kisse, can you smile, dude? Like, you look like death. Like, give us some emotion.
Kisse's whole thing so far, it just looks like homie is making his branding like, yeah, I'm here. What of it?
Yeah, it is.
Bro
It was like it was an order. He went like 50-1, and then in the player cam, he's just like, it's bored. He hasn't moved. It's like, okay.
It's just like,
so, look, that's branding though. Like if you like, use it as like the other end of the extreme.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like if he can use that consistently, and he has been. So for him it works because he came to my mind, right?
Yeah.
But then I think of like, let's pick someone. Like, what do Raze and Aladoric do for branding? I don't know, man.
They do the same thing.
I couldn't tell you.
They're all trying to do the one deadpan look, and they're all just coming off as fish. It's like, that's all it is, man. And I hate saying that because, again, I don't want to. I'm not about trash talking. I've never been about that, and I'm not trying to tease it. I'm trying to give them. This is my motivation to get these players to be like, hey, if we're gonna be playing each week in the spotlight, act like you're in the fucking spotlight.
Yeah.
If that was me on that desk, I'm not that good. Fuck, can't even get into gold. But if I was on that chair playing these games, I'd be doing why not level shit. I'd be just screaming into the microphone at my
You
team.
you'd be doing a line on cam. Let's.
Yeah,
Oh
the
man,
cocaine addict
dude,
comes
my
back out,
keyboard.
dude.
I'd be like, yeah, QWER. Oh, yeah, that's the good shit. That's what I'd be doing, man. Like, I think there needs to be that level of excitement, and I won't tangent it anymore. But it's nice to see that you have the same sort of thoughts where you want to see a little bit more pizzazz. I think it
I mean,
can't
yeah,
be
like
all on
I just want to see the
yeah.
players put themselves in a position to succeed. You know,
Yeah. It's
like
the
Outside of the
interviews
league,
too,
why can I
bro.
say the
outside
same
of the league
thing?
as well, true.
Dude, like they're
Yeah.
meant to be they should be posting every day on Twitter. They should be live streaming somewhere to say, "Hey, come watch my gameplay." Even if it's other teams scouting them too, and then also them doing all sorts. I just want to see them do something. It's the ones that are like, "Oh, I need to hide all my good gameplay." I'm like, dude, no one's gonna come and watch and steal
you're
your place.
playing
Like,
solo queue,
oh
buddy.
yeah, Kisei played Kassadin 5 times today and did all this bullshit. Like, nah, no one's gonna be doing that, man. Like, just show us some content, give us something to like cheer for, because you see that in all the other regions. They all stream. SKT is the #1 reason. Like, they just all have to stream their games, and they're still winning games because they're so good. Like, at the end of the day, if you give us more, we'll give more back. So I think, all right, rant over. Like, we can move on.
I think SKT is what people that aren't at their level like want to be though. They're just like our whole personality is we're good. And it's like if you're going like 1 in 20 in LCO, you're not great. You're not SKT. At least meme about it on Twitter, dude.
Yeah.
Stop looking so serious. But at the same time, it's like these people that like are on solo queue, and like solo queue can eat away at your soul to you're nothing but Aarsh said cardboard. So
You're a fucking fish, man.
unlucky.
You're a fucking fish.
Well, Aarsh, after your split with GZ, how are we feeling? How was results, man? How are you happy, sad, upset?
Honestly, disappointed with how it ended. Like the way we went out.
Yeah.
Both the Chiefs and then to Kanga right after.
Hmm.
Like that game 3 forfeit with a favorable draft. Smudge. And then we lost to Kanga. We were just bad on the day.
Yeah, honestly. We were talking to Velixis and he gave a PC to one of your players.
Oh yeah, he
Direwolves
gave it to
did.
Dante. Yeah. I mean, he gave it to Dante because his PC boomed. That's why we had to forfeit that third game.
That's so rough.
But yeah, like I think overall we improved massively
Yeah.
as a team. Like I would say by the end of that split, we could have been contesting top 4 if we didn't just
I agree.
die.
Yeah, 100%. But by the end of the split, I'm pretty sure we both, Corvy and I, were backing GZ to win a lot of your games, just because it was not even just the team effort, it was the individual effort of your players was just so good. Like, they were holding their own against some veteran players. So it was really, it's nice to see the new teams that have just come straight in are actually stepping up a little bit more. Like,
Yeah, we're competitive, mate.
Yeah, like it's awesome to see, dude.
Yeah, it's good. I like I said, I'm very happy with how much we actually improved over the split, and I'm kind of keen to show you guys more going into split 2.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So I guess,
something I wanted to ask as well, because you kind of got out when you did. You've had so much time off, and you still have more time off as a team. Are you guys doing any teamwork, or is everyone just kind of on extended holidays, getting all their personal shit done? Like, what are you guys doing? You have so much time.
Yeah, I mean, since we went out, we've kind of just been chilling for the most part, like doing our own thing. Like me, Gooby, Tron, I think Dante as well went back to uni. Like, we're just doing our uni stuff for the semester, getting it sorted. Like, I'm doing a capstone project. But beyond that, like, we're actually getting back into scrimming at the start of April, because obviously Chiefs and Bliss still have their finals to play, and they both asked us like, hey, we need some scrim partners, so we gotta kind of get back into shape quick.
All right, boys, put down the cocaine. Stop taking the solo queue Adderall for a second. Let's get on to scrims.
I'm gonna be getting a whole bunch of messages being like, Pike, we need the good shit. I'll be like, oh boys, I got you, don't worry. Express delivery, it's on its way. Don't know how I've turned into a drug dealer out of all of this, but that's fine. Don't do drugs.
Yeah. When did you guys like fall out? It would have been at the start of this month, yeah? I just feel like it's a lot of time off, because you won't be back till start of June.
Yeah, dude, it feels like it was ages ago.
Yeah.
I would say, start of this month probably. Yeah, wait, we're at the end of March. Yeah, I would say start of this month. Oh my god. Holy crap.
Is there plan for like a little mini tournament or something between teams, or like a showcase match? Like here's some ideas for you, man. Just put on a showcase versus who are you kind of closely standing with? Oh, I don't know,
We
maybe
could.
Kanga. Just do a little stream show match. UV Kanga best of 5.
We got
We
some
could.
we got some star-studded casters ready to go in the wings, just chilling.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, you just let us know. We'll
I've
You
heard
guys
some
have
figure
anything
crazy
it out.
planned?
rumors about Mammoth. We can see how Mammoth do in the mid season.
Oh, they're gonna boom.
No. Like they're gonna go up. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna go
Oh
up.
yeah? Are they picking
Yeah.
up players? What is it? I haven't heard shit.
Ooh,
Come on, man. Drop some
inside
heat.
scoop.
I ain't dropping nothing, man. I'm just saying. I
Oh,
heard
that's enough.
rumors.
Ooh,
That's
I'm
enough.
hitting
I'll
up my
keep an eye.
contacts. I've got some names. So I'm gonna be messaging Aarsh. Hey Aarsh, how you
Yeah.
doing?
Hey,
So
man.
just a little TLDR. Just
Yeah. So they're actually picking up Fudge. Fudge
Oh
decides to come
shit!
back play for Mammoth.
that's
Yeah.
big.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Is he
And
going
then
top or mid?
He'll figure it out once he gets here. Whatever he
You need
likes
to
to play for.
join.
And then like the rest of the roster is gonna be, so they're keeping voice.
Yep.
But the rest of the roster is basically gonna be, you know how TSM challenges are coming down for DreamHack?
Yeah.
They're planning on actually abducting the rest of the players
Smart.
and then making them play for Mammoth, basically, if they want to get
Cool.
out by the end of the year.
That's a tactic.
Yeah.
How do they have that money?
I said they're abducting them. Who said anything
Oh,
about
okay.
Yeah,
All right, fair enough.
I was gonna say they've
Yeah.
been contacting me and they're getting in on my jam, but
money?
it's a very lucrative business. Yet still financially struggling.
Unlucky.
Yeah, okay. So I guess moving into it now, I guess I want to talk to you about PCS, right? My main question is, how do you think, like, we know we sort of struggled and we didn't look too great, and Chiefs got that one win and sort of broke the streak.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say whoop-de-doo, and I'm spinning a little thing, but I am excited by it. How do you think we can improve on the world stage? What do you think is the OS solution here?
Oh, dude. Oh, dude, there's so much. I think a lot of attitudes need to change, both from orgs and players.
Yep.
Like, at the moment, a lot of the attitude is just like, okay, if we want Oceania itself to improve and be competitive on the world stage, from orgs, we need orgs to be more willing to put more resources, which is a big ask,
It
right?
is.
We're so unproven at this point that it's pretty unrealistic to ask that.
Mm,
Um, Next would be like we need. It's so hard. The resources is such a big thing.
yeah.
And then another thing would be like we somehow need players to be able to play with, to be able to play against not just better players but also just more players. Like O
Yeah.
solo queue is so small, and you look at the challenger ladder, you will see 20 people in there that none of the pros enjoy playing with or against,
Oof.
right? And that's at any given moment. And then you go down, the list only gets bigger.
So
But
when,
like,
yeah,
yeah.
no, keep going, man. Keep going. I thought you were done with your point.
Okay. Oh yeah. I mean, I think that's another big thing. For players themselves, it's tough, honestly. Like, maybe stop being so buddy with your like teams and rosters that you're trying to put together.
Hmm.
If you can see my face, audio listeners, I am visibly upset. Because this is the one thing that I want to change so desperately about OS.
It's just speaking to the owner of Mammoth, speaking to head coach of Direwolves, and now you. It's just you're all sharing the same sentiments and like the same ideas and like the same critiques about the league. But when you say resources, I'm guessing you mean just monetary resources.
Not
right?
even just monetary. Or like obviously monetary would have to go into it because you'd need to hire staff like beyond just, one or two coaches per team. Like you would
Mm.
want dedicated analysts or positional coaches, something like that, to
Mm,
basically be able to interact with the players directly and be like, hey, this is what we're seeing in other regions. Like, what out of this do you want to start practicing? Because I think you should start practicing this stuff. Like, this would go well with what we're playing on this side, that sort of thing, right? Like, I can't do all that.
Okay.
I can try, but I can't do
Yeah.
Yeah,
every
pick up your
single
game,
bit.
man. That's what I mean. If there's monetary like
Mm.
stuff there, then you wouldn't have to focus on so much of all right, well, I have uni for so long today, and now I need to go to work, and now I need to like do
Yeah.
scrim sets, and in between
Yeah.
doing scrim sets, I need to review the scrim sets, also figure out where the fuck the team's falling apart, and then all this other shit.
And sleep.
Like, if you could at least
Wait, where's my
drop,
time to eat?
yeah,
You
if you
don't.
could at least drop one of those things, one worry for not only coaching but for players as well.
Yeah.
Like, if players don't need to go out and work, they can just be
Mm.
full-time degenerates, and then they can get better at the game, obviously. Which is touching on the second point. You said versing better teams. We're an OC, so obviously our whole who we can verse is pretty fucking limited, unless you want to verse people on 200 ping, which you're not getting good practice anyway. PGG started scrimming a lot of PCS teams, and they turned out like not looking too great in the league.
I have a big feeling that a lot of their practice was just trying the same things over and over again.
Mm.
And they were like, "Oh yeah, this works. Let's keep running it in scrims, even though we know it works, and we're not going to change it." And it's
So
like,
they had
okay,
all that experience, but they didn't experiment.
I think obviously I have no idea,
Mm.
but that's what it ended up looking like towards the later half of the split because they kept playing just the same champs
Yeah.
over and over again, and I was like, Schönfire is looking in Lee Sin for his 8th game in a row. It hasn't won the last 4. Like,
So rough to hear, man, because I think having that advantage, you want to be testing the waters like
yeah.
100%. If you are not playing random shit to see how it goes,
Okay.
wasting time.
I think random shit is one thing. I think the bigger thing is play the meta, play a few different things that are meta, like a couple different meta comps, meta styles, whatever. Get good at those against good teams, and then start experimenting, start branching out. Like, okay, now we know, so if we pick Kazante, they're gonna pick Gnar. What if we now pick Kennen, put that into top lane against the Gnar, and now we just have Kazante mid, and it's probably gonna get us prior into most things like the enemy mid's gonna pick.
That's what SKT
And,
actually
it's
did
fine.
recently, so.
There you go, right? Like, it's just that sort of thing. Like, start experimenting slowly with different picks in familiar situations,
Yeah.
and then you're just gonna have a bigger pool of things to do.
I think that's and sorry, I know Corvy probably is dying to ask another question, but I'm gonna jump in.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm brimming, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate that. I think that's the big thing we saw, even at PCS. We're very sort of meta slaves a little bit. I feel like we keep sort of going back to, is like you said, going back to the favorites of what we think works. Whereas we saw all the PCS teams, they just were pulling all sorts of stuff out. It was either you pick the Xayah, they take the Rakan sort of thing. And that was really all we saw at PCS. Outside of that, they were like, oh, let's just put something else in there. And then they made it work because they were just so tactful at the game. I think that's a level Oce needs to really get to, and I can sort of see your heads trying to get to that as well, that's why I'm excited to see the next split. I feel like you're going to bring some really cool stuff. We need to start trying, we need to make our own meta at the same time. Yes, there's strong champions, but yes, there's stronger combos that work best. So yeah, I think that's the big thing that I'll take away.
That's part of the reason, like, it's actually so exciting watching Bliss play, right? Like, they're happy to pull out these things that aren't like completely orthodox but are great in specific games. Like Lived, right? His Alawi.
Yeah.
That game he played it in PCS, he was 1v9ing. You know?
That was awesome.
They lost, but he was literally 1v9ing that game. And I think actually a big part of why I feel like Bliss kind of fell apart, in the PCS playoffs, other than maybe like our region really is just not good enough at the moment. Was I think they went away from the things that were winning them games. Like when I look at bot lane, for example, right? And I tweeted this too. When I look at bot lane, for Bliss, their success comes on things that gets prior, that get prior, and then get move into enemy bot side. Why not can run the map from there? Move into mid, break the game open basically, right? Through just getting one good trade on bot lane. But then when you're playing stuff like Xayah, it's so tough to do that. So tough to do that. Like Lemus. Okay, sorry. If Lemus isn't on Kate Varus, put Ben on something that can get prior. You know, Karma, Ashe, whatever. Like obviously don't get Nautilus, but the sentiment is that, right? I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like to wrap it around completely with we're trying to verse better teams, but sometimes we can't. We're stuck. And we see PGG, they are, but they're not really exercising that right. We could verse these best teams as much as we possibly could, but I think that's our next step. But what you're saying does ring true for like everything. If we can't learn lessons that have already been learned from overseas, from all these games and what they're doing and their experiences, and implement them in a safer environment, being it's weird to say, but a safer environment being LCO, to actually try this shit out and see if it like works as like a meta comp.
Yeah.
And build that foundation, base foundation, and take that to other teams as a step first, then I don't understand why we shouldn't get to PCS shit the bed because we've been doing stuff that works in LCO that won't work anywhere else. Is to the point.
Yeah, no, I agree. 100% agree. We need to be able to do things that are like you should be okay to drop a game here or there for the sake of just finding things that you can kind of put together. You know,
Yeah.
that might work internationally.
Yeah, because I don't
Or at
see.
least find the foundations
Correct
for
me
it.
if I'm wrong. I don't know how much PCS you watch, but I didn't see much Victor being picked like crazily throughout the split, and then randomly, and I think it was like a Chief set, like they played it, and then the PCS team just started playing fucking Victor. They're just like, well, you're not playing this shit. Sorry, idiot. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, like that flexibility, and they had the comp already built around it. But anyway. So, what are your thoughts on our LCO teams? How was PCS, dude? What would you rate the teams? Let's give it a 10 rating for both teams. You can break it down on like flexibility, how they went.
I don't want to do it.
No, man, come on.
I don't
From a
want to do
coach's
it.
perspective,
Coach's
it would be nice.
How they went overall,
Mm,
I think pretty poor showing. Like
yeah.
quite honestly, right? I'm not happy at all. I think both these teams are capable of more. Like in the first set that Chiefs played, I didn't get to watch the second set, unfortunately. I was watching Keanu Reeves blow the brains out of like 1,000 dudes.
Secret
Oh, hell
Friday.
yeah,
Secret
John
Friday.
Wick.
Yeah, no, I think in that first set, like I think Aladoric literally tweeted that it was pathetic, and it looked pathetic. I won't lie. They just rolled over and lost all those games. No contesting anything. Like you lose bot lane in the first 5 minutes, then mid lane goes, and top lane buyers just smiling like, "Hey guys, I'm doing good in my matchup. What can we do here?" Bubip is 0-3.
Oh, man. Poor Bio. Bio's probably the most solid player this league's ever
Oh,
produced,
easily.
honestly.
I wouldn't say ever produced, but
What
I
do you
think
mean? Like, he's
definitely
solid.
right now he is.
He plays top
Bro,
lane, and he plays top lane.
This league produced Fudge and FBI.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
FBI
no,
is
yeah,
fucking sick as hell.
yeah.
Fudge is alright.
Yeah.
Fudge is alright. We'll see how he goes when he comes back, man.
True.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, it's like, yeah. So for Chiefs, I would say overall, I'm not giving a rating. Fuck you.
Yeah, true. Like, and where would fuck? It's so hard to break down and like push the question further because they did feel weak in almost every aspect. Honestly,
Yeah.
from watching, I watched every second of that first set, and you're right, it was, as Aladoric and yourself just fucking said, pathetic. But Papa Pike was in my DM saying, "What the fuck are these picks? What are you?" Were you like watching the pick and ban phases?
Oh my god, the very first game pissed me off to no end, dog. The like enemy team shows their bot lane on blue, like on blue 2-3. I think they picked Jinx Thresh, and we went, alright, we're not gonna counter pick support here, we're not gonna take Nautilus. Or just fucking anything that's good into Thresh at this point. We're gonna lock in Akali on 3. Guarantee our mid laner gets counterpicked when we already have support counterpick, and we can just guarantee 2 counterpicks because we still have R5 incoming. We're gonna blind our mid lane. Then we're gonna blind top lane.
I was so mad, dude.
And then we're picking Leona into Thresh, so self counterpicking on R5.
No.
Dude, if I can be honest, and this is what I was going to say, Chiefs, I'm not sure what it was. And again, love the team to death. I think the guys themselves, fantastic bunch of guys. They acted like they started the split. it felt like they were just throwing games. That's literally what it felt like. It didn't feel like, not maybe not on purpose, but did they just go with the intention of just being like, oh, we made PCS.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll just shit
Fair,
the bed
fair.
as well.
Right.
So it just
I
it
don't
was
want to
so
verse
frustrating.
PSG. Get us out.
Yeah, I was just so heartbroken because I was like, both these teams had such potential, and I was sort of just like, you're shooting yourself in the foot in draft. You're not even getting to like
You're not even getting to the
R2.
game.
They're getting to R2 and they're just like, oh no, we fucked it. Let's just go in and just have a laugh. I was like, dude, just play it out. Like, I don't know.
Please
Oh,
give yourselves a chance.
I wanted them to so bad. I want to see O succeed and just
Mm,
fuck, man. If they need
yeah.
someone to take a shot to the foot, I'm not doing it. But
Yeah,
still,
they get a fuck you out of 10, huh?
yeah.
Pretty much.
What would you give Bliss then?
Another go fuck yourself out of 10.
Oh, poor Bliss. Who tweeted it? It was like, Bliss losing a game. Oh dear, gorgeous.
That was me,
Juice
bro.
WRLD.
That was me that
that was a fucking banger. I'm like, you fucking donkey.
You fucking donkey.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll
so
link it
good.
in general.
Oh, dude.
Well, we'll move back to LCO. What do you think of the new split, new win-loss bracket?
Felt rushed, but it was
Oh,
rushed
yeah.
because ESL didn't give sorry, not ESL. Riot didn't give ESL enough time to actually sort it properly.
Yeah.
So it was a
Um,
Riot decision, not a our league decision.
It was more like a Riot waiting to give a timeline until the last second.
Oh, right, yeah. This is
And
when
then
MSI is happening, kind of thing.
yeah, exactly right. Like this is when MSI is happening. This is when PCS is. You guys are part of PCS. You better be fucking ready to play for PCS playoffs by this time.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
And it was
shit.
just like, okay, shit's my bad.
You think it's going to change the split too?
I hope so. I think they have a lot more time to plan for split two.
Yeah.
Overall, like I said, it felt rushed. But it also felt like there were just massive stints where nothing was happening.
Yeah.
Like 3 weeks, literally nothing happened for us, right? Like, what was it? After we did one round robin, and obviously the standings in that were completely messed up by the whole peace situation.
Mm.
And then, hey mum. And then what was it? Yeah, that we literally had just a 3 week break, nothing happening. Teams just scrimming, and then you're scared to scrim the teams in your group
Yeah.
because you don't want to give them full info, and so you try to scrim teams from the other side. You don't want to scrim one of them because it's like, is it worth our time unless we're trying something new? And then
Mm.
you don't, you can't scrim peace because they exploded. So you have 2 teams left to scrim from that other side. And it's like, all right, well, it's fine, we'll do it. We actually became like very, very close scrim partners with Direwolves as a result, which is cool. It was
Yeah.
really nice. I think that like aided massively in our improvement and team morale as a whole.
Yeah, I think it's
Um,
good, actually. When teams kind of like group up a bit and like they're like, at least you have a dedicated person who wants to scrim on certain days. It's always
yeah,
nice, man.
exactly. And then from there it went to yeah, group stage. If you get knocked out early in group stage, bro, there is nothing to do until June. From the start of March until June.
Yeah, that's so
Mm.
rough.
Cool. Sick. But beyond that, it's like, yeah, there were playoffs, I think a week after group stage ended, or maybe a week and a half. And then they went off to PCS. They're back now. Obviously, that could have gone on for longer if we did better. But as it stands right now, we have exactly 1 month, a month and 1 day until the next official LCO games are played.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's too long, man.
Yeah,
They
it's way
rush
too
it
long.
and then they delay it. Like,
Yeah,
they should
They kinda
have some
had
sort
to.
of like complimentary matches or something. Even just like casting scrims and stuff, and just watching the players develop and change metas and stuff. That would still be entertaining.
I think casting scrims is hard because it's scrims, right? That like the
Yeah.
whole nature of
I was about
scrims
to
is
say.
it's practice, and it should be kind of
Mm.
kept not secret, but kept, I guess, under wraps.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could definitely host some sort of like special little tournament in between.
We'll
That'd be
do it,
fun.
Corvy. You and me. We'll host
Well,
a
I mean, if
tournament.
you're scrim partners with good scrim partners with direwolves. I
Mm.
literally think if you talk to Velixis like now, like tomorrow, and been like,
Yeah.
dude, it's a month since the LCO thing. Do you want to do like an LCO show match? You can hit up
We
some
could.
casters. You can hit up like
Dude, we'll do
Rusty
it.
and I, a broadcaster, and you can just have a show match that gives you guys free clout. There's literally no LCO content going on now. You
Yeah.
can just make your own.
Yeah, true.
I'm just telling you, man.
It's
Post on the
literally
Aarsh
us.
TV channel, dude.
Yeah, it's literally
I think
us.
at the moment, by the way, I think at the moment Golden's actually looking to
Yeah, he is.
have a tournament go on in the next couple of weeks.
And so is MCOM Latte.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I'm coming
So
as well.
I'm in both those camps pretty heavily.
Nice,
So
nice.
I actually helped. Yeah, I helped with a lot of their tournaments, trying to get them going and pushing. I'm literally pushing Latte, be like, dude, do it. Do
Yeah.
it. Like,
Do
there's
it,
time.
please.
There's something awesome. Like, you've got the space. There's no one doing it.
Yeah.
Take the market. It's right there.
True.
So yeah, I think we are expecting something soon, which is cool.
Okay, sweet.
Always
I'm
good.
excited to see it.
Well, we have a couple remainder questions, man.
Hmm.
As we round out to the end, outside of League of Legends, what you got going on?
What have I got going on? Yeah, I've uni work. I'm doing a
Choir?
capstone project at uni.
Choir.
Maybe if I get in, although I probably will. Like I've been in it before. Yeah, I got to audition tomorrow. But yeah, like I think the biggest thing for me at the moment is probably just my capstone.
Yeah.
Nice.
Describe a capstone project,
Yeah.
man.
What is this?
So a capstone is like something that's meant to, I guess, be the culmination of all your work or all your study. So like I'm doing a Bachelor of Science major in applied maths. So at the end of any Bachelor of Science degree, like you have to do a capstone project.
Mhm.
Well, it's either a capstone project or it's like work integrated placement.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm doing a capstone. Basically, you just team up with like a professor. You find like a professor whose work you find interesting within your field. You hit them up. You're like, hey, would you like to supervise me in a project, like some sort of research project that you're doing at the moment? And you just go from there.
Sweet.
Nice.
So have you reached out to your professor?
Oh yeah. Like I'm well underway with actual research at the moment. I've got
That's awesome,
so
man.
many readings to
Sick.
do, dude.
That's
So
sick.
many readings.
Sounds
Yeah.
exciting.
It is.
Mm.
It's honestly like I like the project very much.
That's good.
What field is it, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah. So it is applied maths, like applied mathematics. Mainly in like drug permeability through the skin.
It's me.
Okay.
I mean, no, don't worry.
No, that's through the nose, man.
Yeah, yours is through the nose.
Yeah. There's skin
Yeah,
there.
until we get onto cocaine patches, like this ain't you yet.
Whoa. The future. I need to get on that market.
That's cool, man.
That
So
is
you're
really
reading
cool.
all of his papers and talking to him about it, and then you have to write your
Yeah.
own paper on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's sick.
Um,
That's a lot
but
That's
of
a lot
work.
of work.
the biggest thing for me at the moment is like the actual maths in it, or like the maths behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would maths be even applied to, like, say, a cocaine patch?
Math is everything.
Okay, there's a lot to explain, but it's basically like, so your skin is broken up into a bunch of different layers, right?
Yeah.
The main layer we're looking at is the epidermis, which is like the top layer of skin. Like all like the dead skin cells, that like a drug patch or some sort of like liquid that was put on the skin. Think like you know those sports recovery gels that you just put on your skin and
Yeah.
it like sinks down and you get like a slight burning sensation,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Mm.
Like those, right? Perfect example. Basically, I'm doing like the calculations on the rate that it would pass through the skin, based
Right.
on like real skin and based on in vitro experiments. So like taking a like bit of skin, placing it around like a tight drum with like some warm water underneath, which is obviously very
That was some
different
horror movie shit, dude.
Dude, damn.
Okay. No, but like the actual maths for me would be, because this is with warm water underneath in vitro, whereas in vivo, so on like in an actual person or on something that's alive, you have obviously like the epidermis and all that other shit underneath. Um, sorry, the dermis. I think I said the dermis. I don't know. You know what I mean at this
I do.
point. So basically you
Corvy
have
doesn't.
different boundary conditions.
Yep.
between the two, and so that's where the maths is basically using the boundary conditions and like diffusion and shit
That's
to figure out the
sick.
rates.
Damn, man.
That is awesome.
Wish you the best of luck with it. That sounds difficult.
Thank
Oh.
you. It's honestly, it's easier than I expected, which I'm
I'm
really
happy to
happy
hear
for.
that. It
Yeah.
means you'll get a good mark,
Mate, yeah.
right? You're pretty much done.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
back it
yeah.
up. Focus on LCO in 6
Yeah.
months.
Full-time coach. You were 5 seconds too late for that gank, sir. Fix your shit. The math doesn't lie.
Math doesn't lie, bro.
Yeah. It allows you to mathematically figure out how thick someone's skin is, so you can coach him like seal, or you can coach him like a little baby. Your shit. You'll always be shit.
Are you fucking serious, man?
Dude.
All right. So I guess my last question, as we sort of wrap up here, Corvy, do we want to jump to a random question? Do you have a random question lined up? I've got a really random question as we sort of finish up this awesome interview. Do you have one?
Alright, shoot, Mike. No, you go. Yeah, sure.
All
I
right,
don't know one.
Ash, how many shoes do you think you could carry and have on your body at one time? Do the math. Do the math. How many
I love
shoes?
these, man.
Standard sneakers.
Standard sneakers?
Yep.
Alright. Let's say it takes me 2 fingers to carry 1 pair of shoes, right?
Yep.
Sorry, to carry 1 shoe. Although I could probably stretch it. I feel like I could do a shoe on each finger. The only problem would
Big
be the
shoes.
width. Yeah, okay.
Think about,
Alright.
yeah, like you're carrying it under the
So-
tongue of like the shoe, or like what do you? How
Or
are you
like
carrying
from
it?
like the back.
Shoelace.
From like the back. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah, how it sort of dangles off. I know what you mean. Yep. Oh, he's getting the
Like
shoe.
this,
Do we all
right?
need to grab shoes for this? I think the
No,
math is
no.
important.
I would say 3 shoes on one hand, 3 on the other.
Okay.
Could carry at least 2 on my head.
Okay.
Be wearing 2.
Where to?
Put. Yeah, I could have 2 pairs on my shoulders,
Okay.
and then if I'm like really coordinated, I could have my arms out and sit more shoes along here if I could
Yeah.
balance them.
Yeah.
So okay, what have we got so far? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Yeah.
11, 12. Yeah, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
You could probably have a couple down the middle as well. Like think of like another maybe 3 rows down the middle, right? And then you're sort of trying to compress them together, like trying to do this sort of thing.
Oh, you mean like squish them together?
Yeah, like,
no,
I'm
I
saying
don't think. I don't think
anyway.
so. I don't think so. I think that'd be way too hard. I think they'd like crumble.
You look pretty
If you-
strong.
He works
I think.
out,
I think what I would do like do it like this, right? And then I could carry way more on my back. I reckon I carry
see,
probably like.
I thought you're a mathematician.
5 pairs on
I
my
thought
back.
you'd go to the next level. I was like, I'm gonna lie down and just have people pile shoes on me. I'm still
Well, you're talking about
technically
carrying
carrying
them.
it. I'm still technically
Okay,
carrying
okay,
them.
okay.
I'm breaking the question a little bit, but if you just pile them on, I could carry as many as I can hold on my chest. So
Aarsh is thinking the balancing matter. I'm thinking shoelace matter. I'll just get the tie the shoelace to
That's
around the neck,
true.
around the neck.
True.
That's
Heaps of
real.
them.
That's real.
See?
Okay, I back
Like,
that. I back that.
The shoes on the fingers.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
fit
Okay.
way more that way. Actually,
Oh, that's a good point.
But it
Shoelace
becomes how
meta
heavy is
fucking
too
breaks
heavy
it,
for
man.
shoes. Like, is
Yeah.
one shoe a metric
I'll break
that we're
myself.
going into?
I'll
Like,
carry those shoes, man.
Yeah,
I'll break
like,
myself.
Oi,
if
dream
it's
hacks.
shoelaces, I'm going infinite number of shoes.
the
Yeah,
dream
dude.
hacks
As
will
much as
steal
I can
everyone's
stand.
shoes.
Yeah. Steal everyone's shoes. at
Like, we
DreamHack
need your
just
shoe.
for
We're doing an experiment.
this.
Get a photo with all of us with everyone's shoes.
Yeah.
That's some Nickelodeon director type shit, dude.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Do you have
slime
any
at you.
questions for us, Aarsh?
Yeah.
Honestly, wait, what number episode is this at this point?
11.
11.
11. And have you guys interviewed people like in each episode?
No, not all of them. We've interviewed, I think, 4 or 5 people total.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's cool. Damn. What are you guys gonna be doing from now basically until next split?
Well, we like to
Oh,
talk
we just talk shit, interview people, man.
That's it. So I think,
Respect.
yeah, because like there's nothing really been going on even for PCS, I guess, for us. So we're sort of like, oh, who can we hit up and talk to? I think it's even people that are not even part of the esports, like pro scene for League and stuff. We want to find other content creators, people in the gaming industry. I've got a couple friends who actually make games as well that I'm like, oh, these could be sick people to talk to. And yeah, I think we're just here to have fun and just sort of bring a little bit more Again, we sort of started this because we just didn't see enough content going out for
Yep,
LCO on a
fair.
regular basis. So we're just trying to get people in to have some fun and just
Yep.
have a bit of a laugh. I don't think LCO's taken too seriously when it really should just be like the region's a bit of a joke. So why don't we just go along with it?
No, I mean fair enough. Honestly, I back that. I back that.
That's fine.
Get something out, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, the region is pretty lacking in content.
I didn't mean we were a joke. I meant that more as it's hard for us to.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. I love the region. I want the region to succeed. But we're also so bad.
Kill all LCO players. Kill all LCO
Kill
players.
all of them. One more question.
Mm.
Yeah.
You guys, have you voted your all-star teams yet?
No, man, I
No.
haven't. Is that open?
Yeah, it's open.
I got a thing from the. I got a message on my phone from the LCO Discord. Have
Yeah.
you voted for yours? Who you got?
Yeah. I'm starting a movement.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hashtag Votron the Pom.
Yeah.
Put that man up against TSM challenges. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
I want to see it.
Yeah, my
You wanna
The
see
rest, I
Tron?
don't care. I don't care who you vote for. Vote GZ, but vote Tron above all.
yeah.
I'm voting Tron right now, Don.
Hell
Tron's
yeah.
had a good split.
He has. He is millions of years better than he was last year.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So happy to see it.
Well, I think that brings us to the end. Ash, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an
Thank you
absolute
guys for
delight
having me.
having
Really
you.
appreciate
It's
it.
probably one of my
Yeah.
favorite interviews thus far. Thank you so much. We'll see you real soon. We'll definitely stay in touch. We might get you back on real soon again. Maybe when the split starts, you can come tell us all the GZ secrets.
Yeah, sounds good.
I told you, Pike. He's charismatic.
I never
Look at
said he
him.
wasn't.
Okay.
I've
He's just
been
such
around
a.
Ash before.
He doesn't stop smiling. It pisses me off.
He's making me jealous.
Except on all of his Twitter profile pictures, he's very serious.
But they're cute though.
Am I?
Like,
Yeah. Well, you're in a shopping cart, I think.
Oh, true.
And you're just like,
I
yeah.
am. That's true.
It's actually
Blur.
it's a fire.
It's the
It's a
dream.
fire photo.
well, thank you so much, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah,
Yeah, see you,
sounds
bro.
good. Have a good night, guys.
Peace.
And we're back after that short 1 second intermission break, saying goodbye to our good friend Aarsh. Corvy, that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, man, it really is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed listening to him talk. Touched on a whole bunch of stuff. Dove into his personal life as well. It's pretty good, man. He's doing some interesting stuff outside of League of Legends. I
wanna
wasn't
sing
expecting
with
it to
him.
be that.
I genuinely want to do a rap song with him, but it's like got that cool chorus shit behind, and then Corvy comes in with a sick beat.
I told you. I don't think this was on the podcast. This is before we
No.
started recording.
Yeah.
He was talking about his choir thing. I was
Yeah.
so upset. That's why I wanted to bring it up, but he didn't want to talk about it as much. I think he got stage right.
He probably
He's going choir practice. He's gonna probably get in.
he's
We
a
should make
singer.
LCO musical, man. I'm telling you.
Dude, content.
so good.
Content.
Dude, Amelgan Shocks do the music video. There's no reason why that Aarsh, Papa Pike, and Corvy on the beat can't do something.
Corvy on the beat. Corvy on the beat. I love it, man. We're definitely doing this. I want
We're the best music.
like the shittest music video as well would be the best at DreamHacks. That'd be funny as. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us this week. Again, week 11. We have hit double digits, which is so exciting. So thank you all for everyone joining us on this amazing journey. Big shout out to Coach Ash and GZ as well, guys. We're going to be cheering them on later on. Corvy, any final remarks before we get out here?
Oh man, it's just lovely to catch up with him. I've known him for ages, since 2021. It's lovely to catch up and have a chat. He's a great bloke, honestly. So shout out GZs. If we converted any new fans to GZ, then hey, let us know. It's probably a really interesting listen, this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much. We have been look out, bad guys. It's Corvy and Pike.
You need a new one.
Corvy and Pike are on the case.
We end every podcast with you doing something and me being like, this is shit.
All right, guys. I've been Pike, and he's
No, it's not happening.
Corvy. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you for joining us on tonight's adventure. Peace out.
I guess.